isn't it rich that The View is saying she got the job based on looks when DEI is all about based on looks?
According to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help. They have mocked him, they have shamed him, they have lied about him consistently on their show. These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right, ABC should wake up.
Buckle up, because the claws are out and the storm has officially hit ABC. Karoline Leavitt just slammed shut The View's last-ditch escape hatch from her explosive $800 million lawsuit, and folks, she is not playing games. After weeks of Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin mocking, scoffing, and straight up laughing at Karoline on live TV, calling her lawsuit a political stunt with smug little smirks, the tables have flipped. Now, these same ladies are suddenly backpedaling faster than a politician on hot mic, pretending they didn't just drag her name through the mud. But Karoline? Oh, she sees right through it. No mercy, no forgiveness, and definitely no retractions. She's come back swinging. And her message is crystal clear. Keep your fake apologies. See you in court. Behind the scenes, ABC is in full-blown panic mode, scrambling to do damage control as the media circus closes in. The heat is on, the tension is thick, and this feud just went from spicy to scorching. You do not want to miss what's really going down behind closed doors at The View. But first, hit that like, subscribe, and ring the bell, because we're diving into the kind of media drama the mainstream won't dare touch. Let's get into it.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I really don't like this woman. She's a good communicator. And so Joy Behar just offered her analysis on why Leavitt was picked for the role.
While this wasn't just another taping of The View, it was the calm before a storm so savage, even Hollywood's messiest feuds pale in comparison. Karoline Leavitt didn't just sue, she dropped an $800 million legal bombshell that rocked ABC to its core. And the ladies of The View, they laughed. Literally. Joy Behar smirked and waved it off. Just another conservative fishing for attention, she scoffed. Whoopi Goldberg rolled her eyes with full diva energy. We've seen worse. It'll blow over, she said. Sunny Hostin, the panel's self-proclaimed legal expert, added, dead on arrival. This lawsuit won't hold up. Big mistake, because while they were mocking and throwing shade, Karoline was plotting. She wasn't tweeting. She wasn't clapping back. She was preparing a case and playing chess, not checkers. Behind the scenes, her legal team got to work like a Netflix true crime special. They combed through archive footage, producer emails, Slack messages, and even handwritten notes. And what they uncovered? Explosive. This wasn't random on-air banter. This was orchestrated sabotage. One staffer wrote, make her stumble on the youth topic. Another messaged, cue audience reactions when she hesitates. And the smoking gun? A note that read, ask about Trump. She'll lose it. This wasn't a fluke. It was a coordinated setup designed to humiliate Karoline live on national television. Now those smug comments and eye rolls, they're not just for ratings anymore. They're being played in courtrooms, in front of judges, lawyers, and ABC's nervous legal team. Karoline didn't go on a rant. She didn't tweet a single word. She handed over the receipts and let her lawsuit do the dragging.
To stop you with the camera, because I can see you. So do me a favor, don't pull it out again. I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
When you're backed by the truth, there's no need to scream. You stay quiet and let the facts do the dragging. That's exactly what Karoline Leavitt did. And her silence? It spoke louder than any viral headline. Inside ABC, the mood turned fast, from arrogant to anxious, then straight into full-blown panic. Early in the week, execs brushed it off. We've handled worse. One laughed on a Monday morning Zoom, but by Thursday, the laughs were gone. Emergency meetings were happening back to back. Elite legal teams were flying in. PR firms were on 24/7 standby. Vacations canceled. ABC was officially in crisis mode. The $800 million lawsuit had exploded into a full-scale PR inferno. And the worst part? Discovery hadn't even started. Yet, Karoline's legal team was still holding their cards. But ABC knew exactly what Discovery meant: full transparency. Every internal email, every behind-the-scenes chat, every raw, unedited recording, nothing off limits, nothing protected, and that's when the real panic kicked in. Old internal warnings started resurfacing, and the paper trail, it was damning. One leaked HR memo flagged an unsettling pattern. Interviews with younger conservative guests feel hostile, borderline targeted. Another internal note read, "There's a consistent pattern of engineered tension. Unclear if this stems from editorial direction or personal bias." This wasn't just a PR headache anymore. It was proof. Proof ABC ignored the red flags. Proof this wasn't accidental. And now it's all coming back to bite.
Democrats in the media are now unloading all their nasty attacks on rising Trump White House star and new press secretary, Karoline Leavitt.
These weren't just stray sticky notes or offhand comments. They were screaming red flags, and ABC looked the other way. Now that negligence, it's blowing up in real time. As the reality set in, panic didn't stay locked in the boardroom. It trickled down fast. Interns once invisible in planning rooms were suddenly pulled aside, questioned about what they overheard. Junior producers calling lawyers before lunch. Group chats started going quiet. Staff began deleting old messages, cleaning up digital trails, erasing every trace of involvement. This wasn't damage control anymore. It was meltdown mode. And Karoline Leavitt, what was she doing during all this? Absolutely nothing. No dramatic press conferences, no viral threads, no exclusive interviews, just pure, cold-blooded silence. The kind that rattles a network to its foundation. One exec reportedly whispered to a colleague, "It feels like she's already won, and we're just waiting for the verdict." From snide TV jabs to legal firestorms. This feud didn't just flip the script, it lit it on fire. And the wildest part? Karoline didn't need to shout. She let the truth and a few carefully placed receipts do all the talking.
These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right, ABC should wake up.
Karoline Leavitt's silence wasn't just a tactic. It was a weapon, and a deadly one at that. While ABC scrambled behind closed doors, she stayed composed, unmoved, silent. And that silence, it was doing more damage than any press frenzy ever could. Inside ABC, chaos ruled. Staff begged for updates. Execs had nothing. Every day brought a new leak. Every hour, a fresh legal threat. At one point, someone in legal cautiously floated the idea of a settlement. Maybe they could make it all go away. PR shut it down. A check screams. Guilt, they warned. And what if she rejects it? That question hit like a gut punch. This wasn't just a lawsuit anymore. It had morphed into a war, and ABC, they were already losing. By the time the hosts were looped in, the damage was done. Their laughs, their smug dismissals, their confidence on camera, it was all exhibit. Then came the emergency meeting. Whoopi Goldberg stormed in still in makeup, towel slung over her shoulder, fuming. "We're actually considering settling with her," she barked. Execs tried to calm her. They laid out the evidence. Emails, footage, internal messages. All it would take was one producer cracking under pressure, and it had become a full-blown media disaster. Whoopi snapped back. "We're turning her into a martyr. If we pay her off, Twitter will eat us alive." Joy Behar jumped in, heated. "We built this show. We carried this network through elections, through scandals, and now we're folding because of her?" A heavy silence followed. Then all eyes turned to Sunny Hostin, the show's legal brain, the calm voice of reason. She didn't shout, she didn't flinch. She slid the lawsuit across the table, looked up, and said flatly, "She has enough to take us to court, and if this goes public, it's not just us, it's the entire network." Whoopi froze. "You're saying we should apologize?" she asked. Sunny said nothing. She didn't need to, because in that moment, everyone in the room felt it. The truth had landed, and there was no spinning their way out of it.
Conflating two ideas, this word wokeness didn't look like she really understood what it meant, or certainly the way Karoline Leavitt meant it when she made that statement, and she was conflating it with civil rights and how, women didn't have the right to vote or own property and all of that. That has nothing to do with wokeness, which is, of course, about putting people in there because of their immutable characteristics rather than the merit that they bring to the table.
critiques, the jokes, gone. The smirks, erased. What replaced them? Pure, unmistakable desperation. And yet, through it all, Karoline Leavitt never uttered a word. No tweets, no press tours, not even a cryptic Instagram caption. Her team issued just one cold, calculated statement. We are proceeding as planned. That's it. That's all it took, because this wasn't a conversation anymore. It was a reckoning. While The View scrambled to fix the cracks in their public image, Karoline allowed their panic to unfold in real time. She turned their desperate damage control into daily evidence of their collapse. The hosts softened their tone, tried to appear unbothered, but America wasn't buying it. The shift, it wasn't subtle, it was blaring. And the internet, it went absolutely ballistic. Social media exploded. Side-by-side clips of last week's giggles versus this week's desperate backpedaling went viral in minutes. One tweet racked up 100K likes overnight. If you weren't guilty, you wouldn't be begging. Another? Brutal. That's not humility, that's fear. TikTok creators slowed down the footage, analyzing every tremor in Whoopi's voice. YouTubers dropped deep dives like political thrillers. Meme pages had a field day. Whoopi standing on a sinking ship. Captain goes down with The View. Joy Behar holding a legal binder, eyes bulging. When the roast turns into a deposition. This wasn't just online trolling, it was a media reckoning. Right-wing outlets ran full segments praising Karoline's composure. Even center-left and neutral voices began to admit the unthinkable. Maybe she had a point, because this wasn't about politics anymore. It was about truth. And Karoline, still silent. No victory laps, no interviews, no smug TikToks. She simply watched the house burn, calmly holding the matches. With every panicked pivot The View made, Karoline gained ground, more support, more credibility, more power. In the end, it wasn't the lawsuit that did the most damage. It was the silence, her silence, and it spoke louder than their entire broadcast.
Attacking a woman for her looks or age isn't very progressive. Let's bring in Sky News contributor Kosha Garda. Kosha, particularly that last clip that we played, it was so condescending. The way that she was scolding her as if she was a schoolgirl, suggesting she needed to do her homework. I find it so hypocritical when these so-called, caring, progressive voices just turn so nasty like that.
Yes, and as you mentioned, with conservative women, there's a long list of that, both of Trump's previous press secretaries, females, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Kayleigh McEnany, other figures like his campaign manager the first time, Kellyanne Conway, Sarah Palin very famously had to bear the brunt of a lot of this. So people are used to that. I think in their bubble of the audience that The View speaks to, that's probably kind of what the group think is. So one defense, I guess, is that she was speaking to her audience, but you take it outside of that bubble the way you are right now, and we all can.
Everyone was waiting for Karoline Leavitt to make her move. A viral post, a fiery interview, maybe a headline-grabbing press tour. But nope. She didn't flinch. No cameras, no sound bites, no theatrics. While the media circled like vultures, desperate for a quote, Karoline stayed in full ghost mode. No distractions, no detours, just laser focus. Her team wasn't playing. The PR game. They were building a case. Tapes were being reviewed, emails logged, witnesses quietly interviewed. Every sarcastic comment, every off-the-record smirk, every scribbled planning note dripping with bias. It all got filed, meticulously, ruthlessly, and behind the scenes, the message was crystal clear. This isn't about clout. This is about justice. There were no leaks, no missteps, just airtight coordination and legal files that, according to insiders, were bulletproof. While talk shows spun narratives and gossip blogs speculated, Karoline was doing something far more dangerous. She was getting everything in writing. No headlines, no hashtags, just truth. Cold, quiet, and ready to hit like a gavel. She didn't need the spotlight. She was preparing for the courtroom, and when the next move comes, it won't be trending, it'll be devastating.
They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him, they have shamed him, they have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC should wake up. They just paid $15 million to President Trump's future library. That's a great thing for the American people.
Divisive and disgusting speech because we believe in putting America first.
first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy.
If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on. Right. That's what you hear. Yeah. When they don't have anything to hold you with, nothing to make you think about what they have to say, they talk at you, not to you. And that's what she was doing. And she was doing it, and it's not new. No. But everybody's hip to you all now. Yeah. And we are anticipating that you are not prepared. Cause you keep saying you going and you preparing when you're on the trail. Like this young lady this is her first job. I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here. Oh yeah. Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job. Yeah. Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason, because black people couldn't get into colleges, because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted.
So what do you think? Will The View survive this, or is Karoline Leavitt on the brink of scoring the most shocking win in daytime TV history? Sound off in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breaking updates as this story continues to unfold.